Right, on Sunday racing comes through from Peter Marisburg. We're at Scottsville for an 8-racer program and no feature races to speak of, but a very competitive 8-racer program. And I guess the big feature could be the payouts in the exotics. Don't forget, we should be up and running with X, formerly known as Twitter once again. And the WhatsApp, you can get in touch with us and let us know how your Saturday has gone as far as that very competitive meeting headed by the Sycamore at Termdine on a Saturday. Right, without further ado, we will be looking ahead to chatting. It is flying solo this morning, and that is with Mr. Darren Burrows. He's going to give us the benefit of his wisdom, and I'm sure when I do turn to him, he's going to agree, or hopefully he'll agree, that the exotics could be the way. Right, just a quick look at the betting before we turn it to Mr. Burrows. Trippy T, it is a second run after gelding and second run in the province at 16 to 10. Number 7, a Railroad, is a 22 to 10, a 33 to 10 about the 8, a Silver Savage. And then its last run in single digits, number 5, Bomber Stream, and that is at 5 to 1 16s and a better bar those. Good to be catching up with you once again, Darren. It is 8 races on the program, and the first impression was that exotics that certainly have to be the feature of the afternoon at Scottsville.
Good morning, Cecil. Now, this is a very difficult card. I tipped a pick 6, which we'll see just now, but it's a very expensive perm, so I've actually put down the amount for 10%. But let's start off early and get money early on races 1, 2, and 3. Now, Trippy T is the right horse in race 1. On the best of his Cape Town form, 1 length off Night Tiger, 2 lengths Rock on Tommy, that's good enough to win. His first run back after a year off the track, he was just in need of it, got beaten neck into second. And even though it's his second run back, at least he's pretty much freshened up again because he's had almost 2 months between that first run and second run. So it's not a true second run syndrome. I think he'll get off the mark and finally get his maiden right because he's meeting a very average field, and I think he's got a couple of wins in the tank.
Certainly a lot of hard knockers in race number 1. It is a maiden plate over the 1,000 meters, confirmation that Trippy T could get us off to a winning start. Jump on that 15 to 10 if it is still available, because I do not believe come race time, which is 12:30, it will be there for that first leg of the bipod. Weighted win on a Sunday, proudly brought to you by Betway. We are previewing a racing at Scottsville. We step up and trip to 1,200 meters, a field of 8 fillies and mares, and it'll be Richard Fourie teaming up with Tini Prinsloo for that favorite in race number 2, and that is the 8 One Smart Cookie, who's currently at 22 to 10, 28 to 10 is a 4, Dawn Surprise 7 to 2 out from 33 to 10 is a 1, and Air of Pride 11 to 2, and Better Bar those quoted runners. Blinkers were on the last time on the favourite and didn't run a bad race behind Little Black Velvet. And Mr. Burrows having a look at the 8 One Smart Cookie. A lot of Nelly Melba form line on which a few of them come out of, and there wasn't too much separating them. Are you confident with the One Smart Cookie?
Cecil, I'm giving this filly 1 or 2 more chances because she started off very promising and I thought she was going to win her races, and she's still stuck in the maidens after 7 runs. I can tell you, last time out, I thought the 14 on the poly, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I thought we would see more speed from her early, but she was stuck at the back end of the field or towards the back, and she was just making steady progress throughout. She did start 7 to 2 that day. It was disappointing, to be honest. But if you go back to her penultimate start at Scottsville over 1,200 meters, she was narrowly beaten by Nelly Melba in a driving finish. And on that run, she had the Queen Bee behind her. She also had Dawn Surprise behind her and a couple of others. So strictly on that run, she does hold a couple on form. And Richard Fourie is a jockey booking here. They've kept the blinkers on. Hopefully she can keep her mind on the job, sit just off the speed and come down the outside of the track and swoop on by, because I think she is the right horse and I'm giving her another chance.
One smart cookie getting and one more chance from Mr. Burrows. That is the win selection for race number 2. That is at 22 to 10. Tini Prinsloo. He's ridden for Tini Prinsloo 5 times for a win and a second, so a pretty good strike rate. That's race 2. Leg 1 of the PA off at 1:05. Right, race number 3 will be the start of the pick 6 at Hollywood Bets. So Scottsville is over the 17.50. Poor Matchett after a bit of a surprise win in terms of the bookmakers' odds, but not the performance. It was certainly eye-catching. Has 2 runners, 2 decent runners raiding the province with, and the first one is in race number 3, which will be partnered by Calvin Abib in Paul's colours and goes by the name Master TikTok, who's currently at 2 to 1. 4 to 1 is the number 12 Connoisseur. 5 to 1, number 6, a Power Star. 6 to 1, number 8, Hunter Arrow. And the 4, Global Movement, is at 7 to 1. It is 12s and a better bar those. Well, Paul Matchett, his stable seems to be coming round. He has a Law of Success, who's on a winning run. And in the same source, the 3, Master TikTok, a very good run behind and No Place Like Home. But you did allude to the fact that the pick 6 could be a trappy affair.
Definitely. You've got to try and find a banker somewhere, and you've got to pretty much play wide throughout and try and get a percentage. If you can catch 10% or 1%, you could be in the money. My suggested pick 6, the amount I've put down is for 10%. You can always take 1%, but I couldn't cut it down more than I did already. Let's start off in this race. I thought Master TikTok a possible banker. Now, on his best form in the Highveld since being stepped up in trip, that 1,800-meter run behind the Eiger sanction. We've seen winners. Funny player, a bit disappointing behind him. And last time out on the inside track, I thought it was a fair effort behind No Place Like Home. That Highveld form, sometimes they come to KZN and they do dominate, especially in the maiden ranks, especially off-season, should I say. And I think he's got the ability to beat this field. I made the danger Connoisseur, who ran behind a very nice horse in Querari's Dream last time out, and he now steps up in trip. I'm not sure if he's going to improve over the step up in trip or if he's going to be found wanting in the closing stages. So Master TikTok, I would have to lean towards him as my outright first choice.
All right, so let's have a look at that selection. And of course, talking about Highveld form, it certainly came to fruition just Wednesday gone, where resurgent Corner Speed Stable had 3 winners on the afternoon. Good luck to them and long may it continue. So it is a bank at the 3, Master TikTok in race number 3. And thereafter, it is very much a very competitive affair. 640 Rand for 10%. But the 1%, as Daryl suggested, that would cost you 64 Rand. It is worth getting involved, and it's an off time to race 3 of 20 to 2. Don't forget, you can make contact via X, formerly known as a Twitter, or alternatively WhatsApp, and you can get in touch with the guys, our principals, of course, our 2 tipsters, Cape Town-based Darren Burrows and Highveld-based Daryl Marie, both the proven tipsters, and certainly love their racing, live for the game, sing for the game if you really want to go far, and they'll be only too happy to respond to your queries, or perhaps just indulge you in your conversation over the weekend. Right, let's get to race number 4. The first Jackpot gets underway in race number 4 at Hollywood Bets of Scottsville. It is our first handicap of the afternoon. The intelligent bet merit rated 77. It's over the 1950 once again. And you did hear the suggestion that a decent sort was in a race number 4, and that goes by the name Quantifier. Well, he's one of your co-favorites in an open-looking race. Both these darts are from 4 to 1 to 9 to 2 with co-favorite, and that is number 11, Shoe Fella. Number 12, Papa C, is at 5 to 1. It is 6 to 1 out from 11 to 2 about the 6th Jazz Festival. 10s and better bar those quoted runners. So the 5 for Quantifier, that is an idea of a selection as far as likely winners in race number 4. Do tell us more, Darren.
Tricky race. Quantifier, when I first looked, he did stand out at me, but then I thought, he's an out-and-out stayer, and the 1950 at Scottsville can be a testing 1950, so even though he's looking for 2,400 meters, he'll be right there at the finish. You've got horses like Querari's Dream. Now, I know he only beat Connoisseur last time out, but he's a lightly raced 4-year-old. He's only had the 3 starts, and he's had 2 comeback runs after a lengthy layoff. That second behind Attaboy, I think we saw as many as 4 or 5 direct winners from that race, and he was one of them. He comes into a handicap with, a 58, but he is a 4-year-old. So I think there's a lot more to come from this horse, but I still don't know where he fits in. So I'm taking a chance and tipping a place bet on him because I think he could be above average. You've got horses like Shoefella, Papa C, Consistent, Jazz Festival up in Trip. He stayed on really well last time out, and Temperate Zone's got a chance. So I'm hoping that Quarari's Dream can run a cracker. I made the dangers Quantifier, Shoefella, and Papa C.
Thank you very much. Let's confirm the selection. It is a place bet number 8, Karari's Dream. That'll be race 4, merit rated 77. They're going over the 1950 and Karari's Dream. That is Andronel and Serena Moodley teaming up as trainer jockey respectively. Well, it is a merit rate at 72 that will be race number 5. And last chance to get involved in a local jackpot over the weekend. A trip will be 1,400 meters, so we drop back from the longer trips that have dominated the card thus far in the last 3 races at least. And this is 1,400 meters where we see Rachel Fenniger. Well, we'll touch on that. The stats is really impressive on the Yogos Governor trained number 8 all the time. That is your current favorite at 5-2. 26-10 is the 2 Master Bling. 9 Joshua Hotsnake is at 33-10. 9-2 the 1 Iron Will. It is 16s and better bar those. Well, going for 4 wins on the trot. But more impressively, Mr. Burrows, is Rachel's stats for Yogos Governor brought this 5-year-old son of giving the green light. 5 rides for 4 wins and a second. You don't get any better than that.
No, you don't get any better than that, Cecil. And I've been for all the time, a couple of those occasions that he's won. And then you know what? I thought his rating may be a step too high, and he follows up and wins again. He's courageous. He's a lovely looking horse, I must admit. Beautiful, dark, shiny coat. I think he's going to run a good race because Rachel does take the 1.5 off his back again, and he's got 60.5. So Joshua Hotsnake also got a chance with 60.5. Those are numbers 8 and 9 I've touched on. Then you got Iron Will, a horse with loads of ability, and his rating took a tumble. And then he finally got in the winner's box last time out with Rachel Venica. His rating, he got a 4-point penalty, but he's campaigned against a lot stronger in the past. So he's definitely got the ability to follow up. Master Bling, very disappointing. When he won on debut, they said this horse is decent. And he still hasn't notched up another victory. They stepped him up to a mile too far, 1,400 now, handy galloping weight, and Richard Fourie. So they're throwing everything at him now to finally knot up another victory. And this could be his day. But I thought all of Iron Will, Master Bling all the time, and Joshua Hotsnake, those 4 should get you through the exotics quite easily.
Right, let's confirm it is the start of Jackpot 2 race number 5. 1, 2, 8 and 9 are the suggestions confirmed on that slide. And then you do go wider in that second leg. We should be off with race number 5 at 14.50, a merit rate of 72, where it is all the time looking for win number 7 at the 26th time at the races. Another merit rate is 72, yet again over the 1,400 meters is race number 6. This will be a last chance to get involved in a pick 3. And we've got the co-favorites in race number 6. They are the Raider, the second and final runner from the Magic Stable at 3-1 with the runner back on the turf. And that is number 9, Giambattista, who's certainly been growing an extra leg whilst on the potty. Then it's 9-2, the 1 Pongola. The 8 Winter Waves is at 5-1, it's 11-1 and better bar those quoted runners. Now we are going to be looking at the 2 Ode to the Ocean. If you're going to raid the KZN region with a couple of runners from the Highveld, I think he's gone with the right 2 Ode to the Ocean. 2 very good recent runs. The penultimate run was over today's distance, and that was a 4th 4.30 lengths behind the highly regarded Red Bomber from the Johan Janssen van Vuren stable. That sort of form line would hold up well in this race, or maybe am I reading it wrong, Mr. Burrows?
No, you got it 100% spot on there. You know, this filly, she went off the boil terribly after a great 2-year-old campaign. And she's taken time to just probably fill into herself and get her confidence back. And her last 2 runs have been promising. That run to behind Red Bomber, she started 100-1 because she had shown nothing for a good few months. And she ran a good race. And then she confirmed that form by running third, 2 lengths off War Queen in an 18-horse field. So now that her confidence is back and her rating's right down to a 70, she could win a race of this nature because she could have the ability to do that, especially against this type of company. Now you've got GM Batista. He's more of a poly specialist. So with his rating gone right up to 72 and back on turf, it's got to be a big question mark. But Richard Fourie has retained the ride. Winter Wave, Son of Silk, got outside pace chances. Quick Star's an interesting runner because I think this trip's going to be ideal. His rating's down to a 66, and his last run over 1400 was a good run. So Quick Star is the joker in the pack that could arrive. And Pongola with a claimer on. This horse is consistent, should be right there. But I think you could be on the right horse, Ode to the Ocean. If she can just build on that last effort, she's going to be the horse to beat.
Mr. Burris, thank you very much. Let's confirm that you are giving us that pick 3, 2, 5, 9, and 10 are the numbers. Then it is 5 horses by the 4 horses, and that'll lead to a total outlay of 80 Rand. That's your pick 3. That'll be a marriage rated 72 over the 1400, and that is off at 25 past 3. Competitive racing at Scottsville continues with that 6th of 8.